Welcome back to Design Bundle's YouTube channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Crystal, and today I'm going to show you guys how to sublimate your very first mug. So if you guys are new to sublimation and you just purchased yourself a Cricut Mug Press, definitely follow along. And if you guys are not new, I hope that you guys find some inspiration with this mug. All right, so let's go ahead and dive right in. First step is make sure you have already set up your Cricut Mug Press. So there's some instructions when you first get this little guy to set it up. So once you've done that, go ahead and turn it on. Once you get that green light, you're going to be ready to go. Now let's go over a few supplies. Some of the supplies you're going to need is a sublimation mug. Now, one of the questions we get all of the time is, can you sublimate any mug? And the answer is no. It has to be a mug that is designed for sublimation. It has a special coating on it that allows the inks to seep into it and last a lifetime. Cricut has put these in store for us, so you can find these locally at like Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Joann's, places like that, or you could definitely check with your dealer. So say for example like JP Plus, Condi, and places like that. Now I've got my mug ready to go. This is a 15 ounce. They also do it's either 11 or a 12 ounce, I do believe. So the Cricut Mug Press does allow you two different sizes. And now I do believe that Cricut has recently designed some smaller mugs that go inside of each other, which we'll do a tutorial on very soon. So you're going to need your mug first up. Second, you're going to need some heat transfer tape. So this tape right here is designed to hold the heat, so it's not going to, take off any of that sticky on the mug or anything like that. So this is designed to handle high heat. So this one right here that you guys see me use a lot is the Cricut brand. We'll have it linked down below for you guys. And there's also bigger rows that you see that are gold and things like that, and you could definitely use those as well. So you're going to need some heat resistant tape. You're going to want some sort of like a microfiber cloth or some rubbing alcohol to remove any sort of oil and debris. And then of course you're going to need your sublimation print. Now another question that we get all of the time is, can you print this with a regular, inkjet printer? And the answer is no. It has to be printed with a sublimation printer that was designed for sublimation. So for example, you could use a Sawgrass printer or an Epson with sublimation inks. We'll have some link down below for you guys to make it a little bit easier to find those. Now it does get a little bit pricey whenever you guys want to invest in that. So definitely make sure you check that out. For today's project, we are going to be doing a single design, but you could definitely do a full wrap mug, and I have a video for you guys. I'll have it above or down below, so definitely check it out. All right, so we've got this. Now, in order to find your exact placement, I have a few tips for you as well. You can take a piece of tape here. You want to make it longer than your top here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get this right centered. So you just want to eyeball this until you get it centered in your mug. So you want to kind of look at your handle. I'll have to turn mine like this so I can see. So I'm trying to use my camera to kind of get that there. So once you have this nice and centered, you're going to know your exact placement. Now another thing to keep in mind when you're making these mugs is, if you're making it for yourself or somebody else, are you right-handed when you drink or you left-handed? If you're left-handed, you're going to want to place it on this side of the mug, and if you're right-handed, of course, you're going to want to place it on this side. So for me, for example, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place it on this side right here. So this would be for the left. So I'm going to do this one today. Now, another thing is you're going to want to stabilize. So you could take your little tape dispenser and things like that. You could roll up a little dish towel. So you just want to get this nice and level. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fold my design in half right there. And then I'm going to get it in half and get that line. So now what I'm going to do is, I know that this right here is the center where my tape is. I'm going to be able to line this right up. I'm just going to make sure I'm going to get even distance from the top and the bottom. So I've already got me a couple pieces of tape here ready to go. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to line this up, trying to get it nice and straight. I'm going to get one side down just like so. I don't have to have a piece of tape all the way across. I just need a piece of tape on there. You want to pull nice and tight. So that is key. So you want to pull nice and tight and then place your tape. So you don't want any sort of gaps in between here. Now you definitely could use this tape. Once you got that on there, you could have used it for your second side so you don't waste this. So once you're done with that, you are ready to press. Now you could actually just stick this straight into your mug press like this, but I like to protect my mug press so it lasts me for years to come. So I like to cover this with a piece of parchment. So I just simply tear down a little small piece. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm actually going to go ahead and take that piece of tape that I had for my top here, and I'm going to use it to apply right here. So I'm going to go ahead and just get one side, then pull it up nice and tight again. And I'm going to go ahead and place this one right in here. So I'm just getting it to cover up my paper so that way if any ink comes through, it's not going to tear up my mug press. All right, next thing we want to do is I'm going to kind of tilt it in there a little bit and then slide it down just like so. And then you're just simply going to pull this down. So for the Cricut Mug Press, it's around 5 minutes or so. And once this beeps, so you guys can see hopefully these little lights going. So every time it changes a light, it's been 1 minute. So once it gets down to that 5th one, you want to get ready, get you some heat gloves, get your, heat resistant pad and things like that. So we will be right back. All right, so once your machine beeps, you are ready to just pop this up. Now the one thing about your mug press is your handle will stay nice and cool to the touch. So very carefully pull this straight up. I do recommend getting yourself some heat resistant gloves. Next thing you want to do is set this aside. I've got a Cricut pad here, so you definitely want to place this on a safe surface because this mug is around 400 degrees. So you're going to let this cool down and then you're going to be ready to peel it. Now I'm going to go ahead and speed my process up, so I definitely would let it cool down, but I'm going to go ahead and peel. So I'm just going to go ahead and get one side and then peel. As you guys can see how gorgeous this looks, that black ink came out so nice. Now the difference between sublimation and adhesive vinyl is I could throw this guy in the dishwasher, I can soak it in the sink, and nothing is going to happen to it. The way that it looks now is how it's going to look for years to come. So I do highly recommend sublimation over adhesive vinyl. It's just definitely a great option for your mugs. Now you could definitely still use adhesive vinyl on your mugs, but I highly recommend sublimation. So if you guys haven't gave it a chance, definitely check it out. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, please hit the like button down below and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.